Hi everyone, welcome back to Whisky Review. Welcome to Season 2, the internet's greatest show. Today we have a special whisky to start Whisky Review Season 2 with, and one which I'm sure many of you are familiar with. Johnnie Red. I love Johnnie Red. I would never betray Johnnie Red. Johnnie Red is my... Johnnie Red is my favourite whisky. Which is an interesting statement, I'm sure you're all... you shit. It's an interesting statement, I'm sure you're all saying. And the wax is falling apart as I try to take it off. But do not despair, dear viewer. I have not went insane. I am just here to inform you of the greatest budget whisky on the market. This usually opens the top bit. But these are sealed wax. Oh, okay, I'm going to explain the bottle first. These are part of Master of Malt's little sample collection. Obviously, I can't afford a full bottle of Johnnie Red. This isn't Whisky Review Season 3. So this is a little sample. And these bottles are cute. They have a little wax seal on top, and usually you can just pull the thing up and it comes off. But I'm having a bit of a struggle now with this wax. Because it doesn't want me to have to endure, it doesn't want me to get to the greatest whisky ever made, Johnnie Red. There we go. There's the whole band that came off. And now the top should also come off somehow, like I know. It should twist. There we go. On the nose, it smells delightful, amazing even. It's got some like fruity notes in there. It's so good it hurts your eyes. A hint of like a woody oak note. And you all know how much I love my oak notes. Oak notes. It's got a nice background of ethanol. But I'm a heavy boy, as you may see. So, what we're going to do here is never before tried. That was what I like to call going in heavy. Can that drop please come out of that bottle? There we go. Now we'll seal the bottle back up and contain its contents forevermore. And now let's get into the tasting. Oh my god! On the nose. On the nose, it has that beautiful aroma, but because of the glass, we get more of the smell. You know, the alcohol really just gives you a nice kiss on the sinuses. It wants to inform you that it's there. It's like, hello, I'm there. So, realistically, oh, hold on. What's this? This has been here the entire time. This has been in frame. I can't refilm it. So let's just see what it is. Let's just see what it is. What's that? Trash. Johnnie Walker Red is the best whiskey. What is this sign? This very informed sign talking about? Big on. Okay, so we're going to get in with the tasting. I'm sure everyone was looking forward to this because this is Whisky Review Season 2. Yes. You know, worse exists. Obviously, because it's the best, worst exists. But it isn't the worst whiskey ever made. it's definitely not the best. You know, it is the best. So, you know, if I was a cynical man, I'd say that it has a bit too much of an alcohol taste to it. I'd say that the nose is far too alcoholic. I'd say the flavours just aren't there in the whiskey where they should be. There's almost no flavour as compared to the amount of alcohol taste. That horrible alcohol taste you get, which just tastes sort of like you're taking a douse of grain whiskey to the eye. It doesn't really exist, but it's genuinely not the worst whiskey ever made. Like Jack Daniel's is definitely worse. Things like Hague Club, awful. And some of the really cheap ones, like what's it called? Bell's, are probably worse than Johnnie Red. Obviously, they're worse than Johnnie Red because Johnnie Red is the best whiskey ever made. But realistically, it's not the worst whiskey I could possibly have tasted. If I was a cynical man, I would say, however, that it pales in comparison to almost any whiskey you can get for 10 quid more and above. It's about 15 usually on the market, 15 to 20. Anything you can get from 25 till into infinity is so much superior. Like a Old Pulteney 10/12, don't know which one we do now, will beat this thing hands down every day. But this is you can get twice the Johnnie Red for that. Twice. If you really want to die, you can just get 2 bottles of Johnnie Red. So let's go for the third tasting, and then we'll make some more statements about it. It's a great whiskey, magic whiskey, best whiskey, obviously. But it really does lack an element of flavour for the cynical mind. For the non-cynical mind, we say that it's drinkable. Some would say it's a good mixer, but those people don't understand how great of a whiskey it is. Anyone that mixes whiskey, obviously, should face capital punishment immediately. There's like a compound in there which just turns to just, like potassium cyanide when they mix it, obviously. It gives that hint that there's going to be a whiskey flavour, it's going to be nice and full, but that's only for like the first millisecond, because you get that like nose feel up in here, and then you get like the top mouth, but it just disappears. Less than a second of effective flavour, which obviously is really good if you aren't a whiskey person. So if you're not a whiskey person, introduce your friends to Johnnie Red. They'll love every whiskey they taste after it, apart from ones that are cheaper than it, and Jack Daniel's. Never buy anyone Jack Daniel's. It's a crime. Should I really pour Johnnie Red in a Glencairn? Anyway, going forward, is Johnnie Red worth the price? I mean, at its price point, yes. It's 15 quid, and for 15 quid you're not going to find a better whiskey than Johnnie Red, really. I mean, you might, actually. There's a few that might rival it. But really, if you want a whiskey, for the cynical mind, don't defunct, please do. Cynical mind would probably say that if you want a whiskey, just get a few extra pounds together and get a good one. Like, let's say, Old Pulteney 10/12. things like, because there are always whiskies on sale in places like supermarkets, and you can get generally you can get a good one that would be like 30, like 25 to 20. Things like, you know, even the Taliscas sometimes go on sale, which is truly a glorious occasion. Then you get things like Isla Jura, which has a bad reputation for some people, but it's a good whiskey. Ardbeg never does. But actually, yeah, Highland Park 12 you can usually get for a cheap price on sale. Highland Park 12 is nice. Not as good as Johnnie Red. Let me just take a final sip, and we'll have 5, and then we'll end it off. I'm going to go one more because I need to be able to taste it. In short, in passing, Johnnie Red is like giving a blowjob to an alcoholic ghost. You sense it, and it disappears into the ether. Yeah, I guess I'll see you next time, everyone, because that's all I can say about Johnnie Red. I hope you've enjoyed, because welcome to Whiskey Review Season 2, where all your dreams come true. Did that rhyme? Okay. I will see you next time, everyone, because I think next up we have... it's another Johnnie Walker or Lafroig. I haven't decided yet because Johnnie Red is the greatest whiskey of all time. Yeah, I will see you all next time. Drink responsibly, and bye.